Journaling has literally changed things for me in a very concrete way, and today I'm gonna share with you my exact journaling method that has helped me grow into the individual I want to be. And you can take it as it is, you can take a few ideas, or you can curate your own practice like I have done. I've chosen a few different ideas from different people, and I've chosen what works for me, I've removed what didn't work for me, and today I'm gonna tell you 4 methods that I use for my journaling practice. I personally think that most people give up on journaling because they treat it as one thing, right? They follow one method and sometimes it doesn't work for them, so people totally give up on journaling. While I personally believe that journaling is a mixture of several things. I use 4 distinct practices, each one is complete in itself, each one nourishes me in a different way, and together they help me maintain my journaling habit, maintain a second brain out there, organize whatever ideas I have into something physical that I can see, something I can understand, something I can reflect on. So without further ado, let's get started. The first one is morning pages. Now morning pages come from Julia Cameron's Artist's Way. I have the book here with me. There is a concept called morning pages in this. So what it entails is that you have to write 3 pages of longhand writing consistently. You don't read your work, you don't edit it, there are no grammatical rules here. You just write whatever comes to your mind. Even if you don't know what to write, you write that thing down. I don't know what to write. And you don't see your work. You don't see anything. You don't see the last paragraph that you have written. You just keep writing and writing and writing. What this will do is that slowly you will start to unravel. You will start to bring up things on paper that you didn't know you had, right? You start to bring up grievances, you start to bring up the roots of your beliefs, right? And then maybe when you read it sometime later, you can see your beliefs on paper, you can understand, okay, this is what made me behave that way, or this is where my limiting beliefs stem from. If you start to find the root of all your behavior, you can heal the behavior that you want to heal, and you can maintain the behavior that you want to take with you. The most important thing is that you don't write for anyone or anything. You're just writing for yourself. You are putting all your ideas on paper. So this activity is less about what you write and more about how you show up. Some days you will just write mundane things, I don't know what to write, or you will write about your daily life. Other days your writing will turn out so good, you will feel like publishing it. And some days you will write with such honesty, you will see that okay, this is where the roots of all my behaviors come from. Now why morning pages? Why to write 3 pages first thing in the morning? The thing is, you are still in a very sleepy state. So you are in a state before your brain has put up defenses, right? So in this position, you are more capable of writing what you want to say, what your subconscious wants to say. Sometimes what a subconscious wants to say is something we also don't know. So when you write something in a mindset that you don't put pressure on you, you're not going to read all that work, what it does is that it puts your subconscious in the mindset that you can write whatever it is you want. And sometimes you will see that your subconscious will give you such creative ideas, it will provide you with such insight into your own brain that it will literally feel like you know the entire world. It will feel like a revelation. You will have ideas you didn't even know had. So this practice will help you get into the mindset of creating ideas, of unraveling what you truly want, and maybe you can find your calling this way as well. The only rule I hold myself, and I don't hold many rules, especially with regards to my journaling or my writing, the only rule I hold is I don't reread my work for at least a week. Sometimes more time goes by and I don't reread my work and I just keep it there. It's not for my reading anyways, just for my expression. So I just express myself, I finish it, that is my creative practice, and I'm done with it. And now I prefer to use a pen and paper because handwriting connects you to the beating of your heart. I read this in a book called Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. If you're a writer, if you're somebody who wants to know yourself, I highly recommend that book as well. I'll put the link in the description box below. So you have 2 books recommendations from me already. One is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and then the other one is Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. And fun fact, these 2 were friends. The point of this writing is it needs to be ugly. All you need is a pen, take a rough notebook, take a children's notebook, take a cheap notebook. You have to reduce the resistance to get to that page. And the point is, don't stop your hand, just keep writing until you are satisfied or until you've hit 3 pages. Sometimes I write more than 3 pages and that makes me feel good, but I try to hit the limit of 3 pages at least, no matter what I write. Even if it's redundant, it just means I'm putting a habit in place. The second one I use, and this is very interesting, an art diary. Please ignore the condition of my cover. Actually, I made this art diary myself. I sewed it myself. So this is something I'm really proud of. But my laziness has made me forget about my entire cover. But I'll be working on it soon. I'm just trying to find some ideas so that it stays in place, whatever I put on it. But it is an art diary. So what my art diary does, it is not a sketchbook, it is an art diary. So what it does is that it just helps me put the perfection away. Now I am not a professional artist, I just love to draw, I just love to doodle, and this diary, this thing that I've made, it helps me do that. It helps me be myself on the page. I can make bad art and it'll still be my diary because I'm not gonna show it to anybody. Also, I think it represents me in different ways. It represents all my moods and all my ideas that I have. I put it on all here. Although most of my drawings are from Pinterest, they are imitations of what other people have made, but imitation is also the first step to art, so that is one thing. Anyway, so this is an oil pastel thing that I was into a few months ago. This is a tomato thing that I saw on Pinterest, and it was really cute. I was into gouache once and marine animals. I'm more into sketching these days. Life feels more like sketching. Then I also did some journaling once. Now this is the most honest thing I've written in my entire art diary. This periwinkle flower, this sadabahar flower is what I made myself. This is literally in my garden right now, and I think I've done a pretty good job of it. I was into 4-leaf clovers at that time. I was into dragonflies, and it was the month of July of last year. That's when I started. And yeah, that was a time of metamorphosis for me, and so I've made a butterfly. I also made a page of things that make me feel young and alive. So this is not really an art diary, more like a visual journal for me, but it is interesting. So it's just a visual record of what I feel like. It's a visual journal for me, and I think it's a great thing if you can do this. If you have a sketchbook, if you have a cheap plain notebook, even that can work. Or you can try sewing, something like me, like I did. It's really fun activity and it's really easy. It's not hard at all. So what it does is that it gives you a different channel to express yourself, and I think that's wonderful. If you're a person who gives equal importance to visual and written stuff, you're like me, and this is something you should definitely try. Pair it with your morning pages. You can do this anytime you want, and I think it reflects my mood sometimes, but mostly it is just my doodling and my sketching that I see from Pinterest. I made this one on a register page. Literally, I used to sketch when I was a kid, and this is what I tried again. But yeah, it just helps you get into the mindset of creativity. Oh, we have Attack on Titan. This is Levi, by the way. This is Eren, this is Mikasa. This is literally an experiment. You can do this, you can try it. It just gives you a different outlet to portray your ideas in a different way. The third method I use is prompt journaling, and it's actually very easy to do. You just go on Pinterest, or you can find some prompts on Instagram. I sometimes post prompts as well, so you can check out on my Instagram page as well. So what you do is you take some questions, you answer them. It's quite different from morning pages. In morning pages, there are no questions, nothing to make you think. You just think about yourself and you write down whatever comes to your mind. But in prompt journaling, it literally makes you think. It gives you questions, and shadow work is closely tied with it. You can do it as well. It helps you get deeper and deeper into your roots, into the vibe behind your behavior, and yeah, it just helps you know yourself in a better way. Alright, now comes my favorite part. The fourth method is actually an end of the month practice that I do. It is easy again, and it's extremely interesting. It's extremely interesting. It's so fun. You'll have all the fun doing it, especially on the last day of the month. So usually I keep my reflection practice 2 days before the month ends. So for example, the month ends on 31st, I'll do all my reflection on 30th, and on 31st I do this very interesting activity that I'm gonna share with you. So what this does is that it helps me bring freshness into my new month and into the planning of my new month. It just helps me put all that energy, all that pressure back into the last month and go fresh into the new month. So here's what I do on 31st of every month. You'll only need 30 minutes for this maximum, or if you want to take more time, it's your choice. Alright, you'll need a calendar spread for this. I have a journal like this. I have a diary like this. It has a calendar spread. I'll show you guys. So you can see it has a calendar spread automatically. I've written the month names here. So you'll need something like this, or you can also draw a calendar spread yourself on something like an art diary. I call it a bingo bucket list. So what you do is that you plan an activity for each day. So for example, I've written on the first day, it is gua sha. The second day is go for a walk. So as you can see, it doesn't need to be something really big. It could be really simple, something you do every day, but just to romanticize it. Make sure they're nothing work related. They're just personal related. They're just self-care related. Only then will you be able to do all these activities, and only then will they make your days fun. So that's really important. So we put all your activities that you wanna do in each day of the month, and it doesn't matter if you do them on the same day all you need to do is to have tick marks on all of these before the month ends. Just keep that small promise to yourself, and that is why I plan really easy things I know that I can do, and I know that otherwise if I don't write this down, I won't do those things. So it's just a way of reminding myself of having some fun in my daily life. The most important thing here is to have fun no matter what you do. I also write a little quote here. I've made a column for important dates, and yeah, it's also about the colors. So example, it was March, and March really felt like green and pink to me, so that's what I did. In April, I see a lot of sunflowers in April, so it is yellow and brown. So that's the color theme I've kept. You could keep any color theme with you. My January and February were really like nothing at all was going on here, so I decided it was time to add some sparkle, and now this feels more like me. Alright, now once you've done the bingo bucket list thing, it's time to make a habit tracker. And then I also leave some space for my days. So what I do here is that I write something really great that happened to me in the whole day. As you can see, I've not written it for all the days. It just helps me keep track of the memorable days of my month. So for example, on the 15th of March, I know now that I learned to do a cross stitch crochet, right? And it's really fun. I learned to do something. It just helps me keep tabs of my month, and the months don't just flow by, the days don't just flow by, they stay with you for a long time. Long after the years have passed, you can come back to it and you can relive this entire moment again. It's beautiful. Alright, so that's my journaling method. I personally think that there is no right or wrong way to do journaling. Whatever you choose, just choose it according to yourself. Choose what works, give up what doesn't. There are thousands of journaling methods out there. You can choose whatever it is that you love to do. You can choose whatever it is that gives you energy and work upon that. You'll enjoy it. The point is to have fun with things, to enjoy the process of journaling, of putting a second brain out there. So for example, I have another diary which is a poetry journal for me. Whatever poetry I find on Instagram or anywhere that I read that I find interesting, I write it down physically with me, and it's just a practice I've been doing since I was in 8th class, I guess, and it's just a ritual that I love to take with me. Whenever I read the old poems that I've written, I start to think, oh, this was what my mindset was like back then, or this was how I was like back then, and I think it's beautiful. And that's it for today. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button below. Please feel free to follow me, subscribe me wherever you want. I'm on Instagram, I'm also on Substack, and you can find some journal prompts there as well. And I will see you in the next one, so you can follow me along on this journey. Bye bye.